Hello and welcome to Charts and Hearts. I'm Sarah and she's Lindsay.
And together we're working our way through an epic list of rom-coms in order to find and categorize tropes in the hopes of creating the nerdiest spreadsheet podcast I've ever seen.
And this episode is New in Town.
Have you seen this?
I had not seen it. I don't think I'd even heard of it.
Okay, yeah, I don't really know why I saw it, but I saw it a lot. I feel like, and we'll get to this probably just in the theme of the month, is that this is a Hallmark movie before Hallmark movies?
Or as they were starting.
Yeah.
It's a Hollywood Hallmark movie. Yeah.
And so I think I hadn't discovered Hallmark movies yet, so I think I was like, I'm going to watch this, and I've watched it a few times in the, 14 years.
Well, and, it was Harry Connick Jr., who's always delightful, and Renee Zellweger, who in 2009 was,
Fine.
the new rom-com queen.
Yeah. And...
Yeah, so, yeah. It was perfectly fine movie.
Exactly, that's how I felt when I got to the end. I was like, this was exactly fine. It was quick and light. Like, they could have gone into so much. I'm like, I don't know anything about any of these characters. The end.
No, it was an hour and 37 minutes. I did read in the trivia that the director walked off the set halfway through the filming of the movie. So I don't know who directed the other half, but yeah,
so maybe that. Well, though I don't think that had anything to do with the fact that nobody has any backstories or friends. But
no, I think it was so he had wanted the movie to be more mature and adult themed, and they didn't want that, so he just left, and then he's never worked in the US again.
Yeah, that's you hired Renee Zellweger and Harry Connick Jr. and you're like, this is a serious,
and you want to make an edgy
with this script. I was like, okay,
yeah.
Did you want to make a movie about small towns and factories getting closed and what that does to things? I'm like, okay, sure, that's a movie.
Yeah. But... And when it was as it says mature content or a mature audience, it's does that mean you wanted it to be more sexy or more serious?
Or more, dark. Yeah.
No.
Because
or darker, a secret murder or
they're supposed to be in Minnesota, not North Dakota, but I'm like, you wanted to make Fargo? Is this what's happening?
Fargo the rom-com? Yeah.
J.K. Simmons put that weight on purpose. It's not a fat suit. J.K. Simmons knew he was making a comedy. So, not that being fat is funny, but it is when you're J.K. Simmons doing this character.
Yeah.
So, I'm
it was just interesting. Yeah. So, anyways, it was definitely uneven, but I think the overall writing was relatively decent, and the characters were all watchable, even if you'd really know absolutely nothing about them.
Exactly. And but also this cast isn't amazing. So,
well, yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Because we've got obviously Renee Zellweger, Harry Connick Jr., Lindsay mentioned J.K. Simmons. We've got Frances Conroy, who's delightful. There's other, there's nobody else, super famous, but everybody is just really good.
Character actors. Frances Conroy, and then the other lady whose name...
Siobhan Fallon Hogan?
I think so.
I don't know. She plays, the assistant.
Yeah.
I've never seen her in anything.
She's just around. She's just one of those faces.
Yeah, I haven't noticed her in
exactly.
anything, but yeah,
I'm sure
she's been in all kinds of stuff.
IMDb is crazy long.
And she was on SNL for a year.
Oh wow, yeah. No, she's hilarious in this movie. She's just exactly what you...
Yeah, because she plays the secretary, executive assistant thing. Yeah. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, and just everybody was really good. The Harry Connick Jr.'s daughter, or his character's daughter, is really great. Yeah. She barely has any lines, but she's just there and plays the perfect 13-year-old. Yeah, it's really fun.
They're really fun. And then the older lady and the younger one who's in the friend group for some reason, they're all great.
Yeah,
and I have no idea.
So that helped.
How many of them are Minnesotans, but they all do a great job, according to me, who does not understand Minnesotan accents except for the parody ones. So
yeah, they're very parody Minnesota accents. And this one was another one filmed in Canada, but not Vancouver. Very unusual for movies, but it was filmed in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Which was very necessary because Vancouver does not get weather.
No,
like this.
So everything you see in this is not an exaggeration. None of everything is it's all real.
And I think worse than real life.
Yeah. I thought it was in Brandon, which is where my mom was born, but it's actually Selkirk was the smaller town. But you can't really tell. It's flat with telephone poles and then just snow. That's it.
Yeah.
And
but they did actually have like terribly cold weather, and they were filming outside, and they could only film for like a minute at a time before they had to warm up the camera. I feel like Renee Zellweger probably wasn't actually filming outside in those days, but you never know. I don't know what kind of a trooper she was in that, but yeah, because it was what does the trivia say, like minus 55 Celsius. No, like actually cold. Yeah, like for real, you shouldn't be outside. So yeah, maybe that was just more the like B-roll and establishing
maybe
stuff, but I'm like, why don't we just film those on a different day?
Yeah, like where isn't the union involved in this? This is a movie about a union.
Exactly. Maybe it was like because there's like that Christmas tree scene, like the Christmas scene. So that just sounds awful. Yeah. Oh, no, thank you. Okay, should we do like a really
because I don't know if people know this. It's from 2009. It was very small, but I know about it. It's very Hallmarky. Renee Zellweger is a fancy lady at a company in Miami. And they're like, we need to do a thing at one of our factories. Doesn't matter what it is. No, business, capital B. And somehow she needs to go there.
Well, she sort of, she's the only woman executive in this meeting. And so she like ends up being the only one who offers to like look after this situation. And they're like, oh, well then you should obviously go in person. And basically she's going to like cut jobs and like modernize production. The amount of like business jargon in this is hilarious. It's like one step removed from the like the business cat in the Lego movie.
So she goes to small town Minnesota.
Ulm, I think?
Something like that. And she meets some nice people. She meets Harry Connick Jr., who's the union head of the union rep something.
He's the like head of the union, but he doesn't work at the factory. I think it's like it's a union sort of town, so the union covers more than just
that. Would make way more sense, because I was like, what does he do on the rest of his days?
No, I think he's just like the union rep for the whole town for like the union.
And so they have a meet cute and it goes badly, and then she's like, oh no, you're the union rep, we have to work together, but then there's no actual problems really. And he rescues her and hijinks, and she's gonna fire everyone, and then she falls in love with the town, and then her businessmen are like, no, you have to shut it down entirely, and she's like, no. And then she leaves for a little while, and then she comes back, and they make tapioca magically instead, and everything's great and fine. And he's still there being the union rep, even though they've bought the factory.
They like they
have gone privatized or whatever.
She finds investors for them to have like an employee owned business, which I think is very cool. But then I'm like, so then are you still in the union?
I don't know.
Like if you're also like I don't think you need a union if it's an employee owned co-op.
No,
I don't
maybe
know.
he's just
I don't really know how
they're helping now because he's part of the town.
I guess so. I don't know.
But the way that it ends is better because she goes back and is sad, and then finds a way to be a CEO, which is what she's always wanted. But still get to work with these people and be with him. And like they do amp up how much she loves everybody. It's not just him, which is, what's missing from a lot of this plot.
And also like saves the factory, because otherwise the factory was going to get sold to like a multinational whatever, and it would have been shut down. But then like saves the factory. And also I really appreciated at the end the person whose like top secret family tapioca pudding recipe they used without any attribution, like she gets licensing fee, like $250,000, and she falls over.
It's very fun.
So that was good. So she both like saves the day and also like properly
pays people,
like business wise treats people.
Which is what I really like, is that she ends up, she gets what she wants and does all the things that you would expect in this storyline, but does it with morals and good standing.
Yeah.
And, like, nothing ever goes bad. The only, like, they never actually have a fight. She just leaves. Well, I guess they have a little bit of
time for her to go.
They have a misunderstanding, but not a capital M misunderstanding. And then,
just a little
and then, she leaves because it's time for her to go. And, like, they've saved the factory at that point.
Well, and, like, you know, she's a business lady CEO, like, it would have been, and, like, the hallmark move would be, like, she decides she never wants to be a business CEO and moves to this small town in Minnesota to, like,
be a mom.
I don't know, make baby food or be a mom or, like, just gives up her whole life for this guy, and she doesn't have to do that. Instead, she manages to be, like, the founding CEO of an employee-owned business. So now she's technically, once they finish buying, like, paying back the investors, she's, like, employed by this town.
Yeah. And so, like, it's this really good way of doing it, and I love it that it exists, and also I'm annoyed that Hallmark hasn't copied that part.
Yeah, exactly. Or, like, done more things of like,
this kind of stuff.
She, like, spent her whole career trying to be a CEO, but secretly she wanted to, you know, run a coffee shop in a town with 500 people. Like, things like that. So, but there's many hijinks and so many small town, both, like, Midwest accents and also just general stereotypes of, like, the giant, like, the, I don't know, gallon jug of random wine that she brings to the dinner, and the, like, all the food stereotypes and the snow and so many things.
Yeah, like, the factory's closed on the first day of the lake being frozen over.
Yeah. Like, first day of ice fishing season. Yep. The other thing that this movie by the end ended up reminding me a lot of was a movie that we did like a year-ish ago. We did Baby Boom, which is the Diane Keaton one where she ends up in a small town and, like, starts a baby food company. So it's like, in that case, it's both her company and her life, whereas in this it's more like somebody else's company and her life. Or, like, somebody else's product. But
still kind of
like a merged mishmash of that. And then my big question is, like, at the end, they have 4 weeks left before the parent company or the owners of the factory are going to come and, like, make them shut it down because, I don't know, capitalism. And so they're like, oh, okay, I've got this cool idea. Let's make tapioca pudding. Like, we don't know that it's tapioca pudding until the end. But, like, so they say that they have a plan and they've got 4 weeks and they'll do, like, a test run. And I assumed it was a test run, like, an actual test run, like, send out some food for quality control, like food safety, and also, like, market testing. But no, in 4 weeks they are in local grocery stores,
and they're in grocery stores, and then they go do market testing in, I guess, Michigan,
like, globally,
Minneapolis,
or, like, nationally,
Yeah,
like, do, like, more nationwide. I'm like, see, I thought the, like, test run was like, we get the equipment working and we make sure that it doesn't have, like, chunks of metal in it.
And then, like,
but no, grocery stores.
Like, it's at the store, just on the shelf next to, like, Jell-O pudding. And it's got branding. It's got a name. It's got
marketing, like, and multiple flavors. Like,
I'm just like, what?
Just
like, how do they?
Wow.
Nobody in this place is a marketer. Nobody in this place is a graphic designer. Nobody.
Well, and that's the other thing is, like, the whole factory, when she comes, she comes in to sort of be the corporate person, and there's the people who work on the factory, and there's the foreman who's J.K. Simmons, but there's no, like, other management at the factory. It's just the people who work on the factory. Yeah. It's a very, like,
so nobody knows how
just don't look at it too close.
Yeah. Yes. And, like, I don't know how a factory works, but there's definitely something.
I know how they don't work.
And I'm just like, in general, at the beginning, they're making unknown something. It's not pudding, like, they had to break out the
granola bars or something.
No, they were supposed to make granola bars. At the beginning, they're making what looks like, you know, the containers that, like, gross salsa comes in, like the plastic.
Oh,
but I don't think it's salsa, but it's maybe sour cream or something along those lines. And I'm like, why did you businessmen pick a place that's making some kind of liquid dairy or some kind of, like, sauce of some kind, and being like, that's the place to make granola bars.
Yeah, make random. Yeah, so weird. Okay, should we talk about tropes?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got the hallmark trope of like the new plant manager comes to town to shut down the plant, but then she stays because she falls in love with the town and the guests.
Very much.
Yeah. Very much.
She's also so uptight and so businessy and wears heels all the time and just so businessy.
Even on the plant floor, which is
not safe. The other thing I love is that they make her wear a hard hat, which she wears, but half of the people in the factory are wearing hard hats. Some of them are wearing just hairnets, and some of them are wearing nothing. And I'm like, why? What is this?
Yeah. And also it's like the tiniest factory. Like I swear it was filmed in like, I don't even know, like half of like a garage.
Anyway, she wears heels all the time and is ridiculous. And then she gets to the airport and she's like, how bad can it be? And literally does the scene from Cool Runnings where she walks out, not even all the way out, just into the middle of the doors.
Just to the like the vestibule of the doors.
And like is so cold and runs back. And then she's like, I have a jacket. And it's like a blazer. It's
barely
the most ridiculous thing in the world. I'm like, how are you a CEO capital B business lady and don't know that jackets exist? Like, you're wearing a running jacket when you go running in the opening montage. Yeah. Why aren't you, like...
Yeah, or like, why don't you know that your Miami jacket is not going to cut it in like Minnesota?
Like, there's being unprepared for Minnesota cold, and then there's just being dumb, and it's
being completely unprepared for any cold
whatsoever.
Like, that jacket wouldn't have worked at freezing.
No. Like, anytime you see snow, like, you know, weather forecasts exist. Anyway, it was... Right. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Okay, so obviously we have enemies to lovers. The first, like, third of the movie, they pretty much hate each other. But then they, like, you know, have to work together. He saves her, she helps his daughter, and then they make out. So it's pretty quick. And, like, the enemies part is really more of the misunderstanding two worlds kind of thing, not actually like, distrusting where the other person's coming from, but not actually hating each other because they don't know each other.
Yeah, and he also makes a real bad first impression just because...
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, so does she.
Well, so does she. She's very quick to judge him, too. But I'm like, you can also drink beer without it falling out of your mouth. Like a...
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, except I think that was partly because... Oh, yeah, I guess the other trope is, like, it's so cold that her nipples are showing through her
I forgot about that.
Tight-fitting shirt. Yeah, so I think the beer on the mouth was because he was like, oh, those are nipples.
So good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the only like adult sexy kind of part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like and barely.
Yeah. But yeah, then she gets stuck on the side of the road and he rescues her and she's drunk and it's very adorable. And then she helps his daughter because he is a sad widow, which we'll get to in a minute. Yes. And like for some reason, like this whole thing, contrived thing of like the dance, and he's like, I bought her a dress and it's like
it's like a white, like a ruffly pink tuxedo shirt.
Yeah. And like, where's the rest of it? And also, she's 13 and like, from what we've seen, can speak her mind. So, whatever. But then they're like, then Renee Zellweger's like, it's okay, I got it. And let's go now to Big Town.
Yeah. Des Moines or, no, not Des Moines. I don't know what towns in Minnesota are. But the nearest like, actual town. And
like spend... I don't know, 4 hours there. Just like the timeline of this day makes no sense. Like it's nice.
I think when he shows the clothes, it's like the morning.
Okay, maybe, yeah. Oh no, because she went to go get a perm. That's why, so it would have been the morning. But that part is nice. Like she goes shopping, she buys her a bunch of stuff. She meets nice ladies who do her hair.
And there's like the ladies at the hair salon.
Yeah. So, and then she looks really nice and she does the walk down the stairs after getting a makeover trope, which is nice. And she's very adorable and 13.
Yeah. And then he does the sad widow bit of like, oh, you look like I can't say it out loud, but obviously she looks like her mom who died like 10 years ago.
He does do a funnier version of the mean dad after the boy coming to pick him up. Like, it's never going to be great, but instead of threatening to shoot him, he does say, anything you do to her, I'm going to do to you, which I did kind of laugh at. I'm like, I don't like this trope, but it is a better version than I'm going to kill you.
It's less violent than,
So.
Yeah, but he doesn't pull off of it. Like, he's too belligerent about it, for sure. Yeah. In addition to that makeover montage, there's also so many other montages. There's like, let's come together and build the factory montage. There's like her figuring out how to live in the winter montage.
There's the sad montage after she leaves, and they're both so sad.
Yes. Yeah, and the whole town is so sad, and they miss the spark she brought to their lives. Yeah.
They do have a food fight while they're trying to make the pudding machine work.
Yeah, because like it sprays tapioca pudding goo everywhere, and then they like throw it at everybody, and it's cute. Yeah. And yeah, she ends up leaving like her big fancy job for him, kind of, but it's also like for her, she's like working for a better company. She gets to be with the people that she loves. She gets to, be the CEO and not have to kowtow to the like all the dudes. Yeah. So it's kind of for her, or kind of for him, but also bigger picture.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Lindsay, does this movie pass the Bechdel test?
Yes, it does, because she has assistant lady who is great, and they talk about work constantly because that's what they're doing, and that part is really great. And like all of the other, like, especially because she's enemies with Harry for a long time, is like hardly any of these conversations she has with this little group of women is actually about men.
Yeah. Well, and even once they start like kind of dating, like she never talks about it with anybody.
Like, they give the looks. Like there's a part where he's a fireman for unknown reasons, and they're all like leering at him, which is funny. But none of it is like, she very rarely talks about it, so like that part is really nice. The one part I will bump on is the fact that even like when comparing this to a Hallmark movies, is that she has no friends. Like she meets these people.
Oh, like she has no back home.
She has no back home
any
friends.
Backstory.
And she has no backstory whatsoever. She talks about her dad, who, he was a mechanic. And then, and so, like, that part is nice and gives her a little bit of why she wants to be CEO, which is important. But even in a Hallmark movie, she would have a friend, like, calling her and being like, how's small town podunk, da 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 da. Like, there's just something missing, and I wish that the I'm so businessy and stuck up trope could be loosened a little bit to have a friend.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing that I was thinking about this morning and forgot to write down was, I know this is Minnesota, but this movie is really, really white.
Oh, yeah. Like, also, like, there are people who aren't white who live in Minnesota. There's like, but the whole town is super white. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's make a pie.
Yeah, there's so much. Yeah. So many slices.
So many. Okay. Scrapbooking. It's such a small town thing. It's also such a like early thing. I think by like 2009 it was less of like the cool trendy thing, but it was still obviously happening. But yeah, like remember when there were like scrapbooking stores? Yeah.
And it was like, it wasn't even just Michael's, it was a scrapbooking store?
No, like actual stores just for scrapbooking stuff. So weird. I don't know, like 10%? Yeah.
Accents and small town tropes.
Ugh. Oh. Like 30?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Winter boots and winter clothes, especially Sorrells.
The beginning,
all attire of winter boots and clothing.
Yeah, the beginning when to like highlight how uptight she is, like at the airport, it's just a shot of everybody's boots, and then it ends on her heels. But it's like 5 minutes of Sorrells and different things, and then it's her. So
I don't know, like 25?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because especially, and I guess by the time they get to the Christmas scene, she does actually have like proper winter coats and stuff, and it's nice to like see that progression.
Yeah. Harry Connick Jr. swoon. This is good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it is good. I'm gonna say like 15. I feel like there's a lot in this movie that isn't him. Like he is definitely a minor character.
Yeah, that's very true. Is that he probably would
like it's her and the factory people, and then him.
He's also there to be dreamy.
Exactly.
So that is
10%? 20? Does that leave us?
20. 10?
50. Yeah, 20.
20%.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Okay. That leaves us with 20% of business jargon.
Which works perfectly because there's so much jargon in this movie.
Yeah. There could be so much more, but it's like when she does her first speech of the thing, and it's just like, we're gonna modernize and efficientize, and I'm like, those
like none of the words
those
make
are words. Yeah, it's just like she's saying absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And like,
and I was like,
yeah, and
relatable.
That's like the point, because then J.K. Simmons can like roll his eyes and all that stuff, but then it keeps happening when she's talking to her boss on the phone.
Yeah.
It's just
when
like,
she's talking to the boss, it's even worse. Yeah. And like the board meeting thing at the beginning is just all straight up business dude jargon. Oh man. Yeah. Intense. But that's a fun pod.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. And Lindsay, what's next for them?
I don't know. Like, we didn't put falling in love quickly in the trope, just like she is there for 4 or 5 months, and it is a
at least
slow burn. Like, she doesn't come back and like they don't get engaged or anything. So
no, they're just kind of like excited to see each other and like make out a little bit.
Yeah,
but, yeah, they're not like immediately
in love
together.
So that makes me feel good. Though my main concern is that she's done all of this stuff and she hasn't lived there for an entire year. So it's more, how is she going to feel about the town and then therefore him, because it's a small town. If they break up, it's going to be super awkward.
Yeah, and also like, is it realistic for like if this company grows as much as they think it will? Is it realistic that this teeny tiny town can continue to be the like, main factory and head office, or like will they need to be somewhere a little bigger? Like maybe still in Minnesota, but like this town is very tiny. So
so I don't know. That's my main concern, is just like it hasn't been that long, and it's a big life change. Like she doesn't have she has literally nothing tying her to Miami, so I guess that's something. But
but then like will she be able to actually live in Minnesota? I don't know. And then Lindsay, what's next for us?
Oh, well, we've got another Hallmark movie coming that's not a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, but again, in the big fish in a small pond theme.
It's Sweet Home Alabama, which will be fun with some, also with a side of South stuff being inappropriate.
Yeah.
Woo.
I haven't seen it for so
Me either.
long.
I used to watch it like a lot when it was on W, and you're just like, I don't know what to watch. And then you're like, oh, Sweet Home Alabama's. So, anyway, it'll be interesting to watch with a lens of it not being the aughts. But Patrick Dempsey's there, and you can't get mad about that, so
it's true. Yeah. It's true. It'll be an exciting adventure. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. We would love it if you can leave us a rating or a review on wherever you get your podcasts, like Apple or Spotify, etc. You can also find us on social media. We're at Charts and Hearts Podcast on Instagram and Threads.
You can head to our website, chartsandhearts.com, where you can submit your suggestions for rom-coms and tropes for us to add to the list. And you can also head to our Patreon, patreon.com/chartsandheartsclub, for small town big fish. That was backwards, but still correct. Month we are doing the opposite, a small fish big town. We're doing Coyote Ugly, which will be fun because I also haven't watched that in a really long time, and that's gonna be interesting.
It will be a thing.
But Melanie Lynskey will be there, so everything's fine.
Yay! Ugh, love that. Love that for us. We would love to know your thoughts on this movie. Had you seen it? Had you even heard of it before this? And in the meantime, no, I'm a city girl, but I know how to light a fire. Where's the switch?